Have you ever sat back and wondered how to create a budget? Well, today I'm actually going to help you do it. Welcome in, guys. Peace and blessings, my people. It's your favorite businessman, CEO Rico on the Urban CEO Network. And we about to get into how to actually create a spreadsheet far as budgeting. My little brother hit me up, asked me to help him create a budget. So I said, hey, why not help him and help you all at the same time? So let's get into it. So create a little mock-up, but I might actually go through the whole thing all over again. Creating a blank canvas. I'm going to delete everything. All right, so let's start from scratch. So I'm gonna show y'all how to do the formulas. I'm gonna show y'all how to do everything. So let's get to the expenses, right? We want the expenses, then we want our income. Right, I like to center it. Bam. Same thing here. Bam. Bam. Like it in the center. I like to always color coordinate my stuff. So my income is going to be green. That's the money, baby. Expenses is red because it's like this some bullshit. And who like expenses? Because I don't. So we're going to make that red. And then far as on the expense side, so we're just going to start naming some expenses. So we got like rent, mortgage. We have car note. We have insurance for the car. Spelled that all wrong. Insurance for the car. We have gas. We have phone bill. We got subscriptions. For the subscriptions, we can have like Apple Music. We can have Hulu, Netflix, and whatever other subscription you can think of. You can throw it in there. We got our groceries. We have, let's say you got a kid, you got child care. What else you got? I'm trying to think of some other expenses that we might have. Let's say you got a gym. So we're just gonna roll with these. I want to do a wrap text wrapping on there. So let's say the mortgage rent. Let's say that's about 1,200. Let's say the car note is about 450. Insurance say it's about 380. Gas. Let's say gas a month. Let's say you spending about 300. Phone bill, let's say it's 175. Subscriptions, let's just say it's 75 a month. Groceries, 275. Child care, let's say that's about $1,000. And let's say the gym is costing you like $75 a month, right? So let's say far as on the income, right? So let's say you got two jobs. You got employer. So you got job number one. Let's say you got job number two. Job number two. Let's say, all right, so I'm gonna show y'all how to do some formulas, right? Now here we're gonna have job number one. We're gonna do product. Wait, hold on. Let me show y'all this real quick. So first we want our headers to be on point because this will help you out later on to always keep stuff on track. We got our daily, our weekly, and our monthly, right? Oh, and I almost forgot. Over here on the expense side, anytime we dealing with money, with numbers, we always want to make sure it's the money numbers. So we want our total expenses, and then what we're going to do, we're going to create, it's going to be the sum. Well, as you see on mine, it's already populated, so I'm just going to hit the tab button and accept, bam. So our expenses over here is $39.30. That's how much it's costing us on a monthly basis. So you can do it like this. Total monthly expenses. Total monthly expenses So we're gonna do a wraparound text on that. Just keeping everything organized. So remember, we're gonna always make our expenses red. And then, all right, so back to the job. So let's say employer number one, let's say we're gonna create the product because it's multiplication. Let's say for job number one, you make 22.50 an hour, and let's say you're working 8 hours a day, right? So that's on a daily. And then for the second job, let's say, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little cheat. Go here and I'm gonna go inside of the formula. But here, let's say we're doing, so let's say for job number two, let's say we're at $21 an hour and we only work 5 hours a day here. Okay, now we're gonna have the total of the incomes as well. Total income. So total income, so we hit it with the sum. And then we're gonna do it both of these. Bam and bam. All right, so now we got our daily. Now we're gonna do our weekly. So we're simply gonna do same hookup. We're gonna do the product. So product, as you can see here, bam. And what we're gonna do for the weekly, all we're gonna do simply do is we're gonna hit it here, and then we're gonna hit the 5, because 5 days, and then that's our week, right? So let's say job number two. Let's say job number two, you work that job, same hookup. So I'm just gonna hit the check mark. But I'm gonna go in here and just show y'all what it look like. So it's taking this daily and it's multiplying it by 5, and it's showing you what the week is. And same thing here, multiplying it by 5 for the total on the daily. And then this is how much you're making per week. Now, for the monthly, what I like to do is same type of hookup, right? But instead of doing it, multiplying the weekly by 4 for 4 weeks, because some weeks don't have only 4 weeks. Some weeks have, it may have like a fifth week or something like that. Because some months you have 5 paydays in the month. So what I like to do for the monthly, I like to take the daily and I like to simply multiply it out by the number of days. Reason being is because yes, we have, let's say you got the 4 weeks times 5, that's 20 days. But let's say for job number one, we actually work every other weekend. So we would actually be working for this example, we work in 22 days out of that month, right? Same thing goes for job number two. And we just gonna hit that, right? So for both jobs, we doing 62, right? So we want to, of course, make that green because all our money is always green, baby. And then, no, that's too dark of damn green. We're gonna go down, and then what I'm gonna do over here is I'm gonna put leftover, right? Because we always want to know how much money we actually got left over. Now remember, anytime we're dealing with money, we always want to hit it with that money sign. Always. Same thing here. All right, now guys, I'm gonna show y'all this. So here, same hookup, right? But we want to take this number. Actually, we don't even need the sum. Take that back. We don't even need that. All we need is the equal sign. Hit this one, subtract it by our total expenses, hit enter. That's how much money we always gonna have left over at the end of the month, right? Now, here's the sweet part about all of this, because now we made the entire thing automated, right? So I always like to make all this. So we got to put our borders. I always need my borders. Bam. Now remember, guys, one more border. So because we have everything here, everything is now automated, right? So basically we can literally add any type of number in here, add, subtract, anything like that. But when we add numbers, so let's say hypothetically our child care for some odd reason went up to like 1,500, right? It's gonna automatically calculate here. And then when it automatically calculates here, it's going to also update over here as far as the leftover. Our numbers are always going to change automatically depending on what we do. So let's hypothetically say job number 2, for some odd reason, let's say our income actually went down. Let's say we lost $1. You see what it now did? It updated automatically and then it showed us how much we actually have left over here. Let's say job number 2, let's say, we need to pick up some hours. So now we're working 7 hours. So now we out here pumping. So as you see, all the numbers are now updated. So as you see, our leftover is now updated. Now here's the thing, guys. You can play with this any way you want. You can change numbers, you can add stuff, whatever you do, but this is just a basic template just for you to get started and have your budget like basically just going, so you can have an understanding and have an outline on how much you're actually making per month, daily, weekly, monthly, what your expenses is looking at like, and then also what you'll have left over, like kind of like anticipated, estimated, because everything fluctuates. Now, if you need this already done to be done for you, I do provide that as well. Just click the link below and then you can go in and see everything on what I have already available for you. Also, I can show you, because if you're like a business owner and you have more like complicated transactions going on off and on, I created another spreadsheet. Like this spreadsheet was dealing with my Toro business. I took everything off of here, so I just kind of keep it just to play around with it, but just to show you a little bit. So here, what's going on is, let's say right here, like just looking at the daily chart, and you got the low end, high end, and then you got the average of the numbers. And then same thing here, you got low, high, and then what the average monthly, because I always run my numbers off average. Now, what's sweet about this is you can go in and you can play around with the number of days that you anticipate your cars will be rented out. So you can of course keep adding cars here. Same thing, add like what your lowest price point would be, highest price point, then what the average should be, and it'll kind of give you a range on where you should be at the end of the month. So let's say we ran off 24 days. We want to say we're running off our cars at 24 days. They're going to be booked. Now, this is the Toro percentages. Now, all you do is go in, you play around with the percentages depending on what Toro, how that whole hookup was broken down. And what it does is it gives you what your monthly income should be, right? And then of course this was some extra things that was going on here. And then right here, as you can see, it says after expenses monthly, which is just the business only. It shows you what the low end should be, high end, and that's included with everything going on here. Like, let's say you was driving Uber, if you sold some cars, you got some cannabis in there. Um, and then it broke down the averages. Then it shows you monthly revenue, but then it also showed you the annual profits, right? So this is just strictly off the business income. This wasn't talking about expenses, nothing like that. And then you go into like the business tab. Same thing here. If you was like add numbers, so let's just say I'm gonna throw in like 420, 300, just making up numbers as I go. You know, And as you see, this number right here constantly keeps changing. It gives you the daily, the weekly, let's say whatever bills you have, or let's say office, let's say you got like $1,000 in there, something like that, right? It'll automatically populate here. Now, the sweet part about this particular spreadsheet is you come over to the summary. The summary gives you the full breakdown so you can see your business at a glance, to where you don't have to go in each individual tab. But all you got to do is just come on here. You can see, okay, business expenses is about 25.64, personal expenses is 33, income is 17,000. So what my total expenses right here is my personal and business. Bam, my total income is here. Projected available funds at the end of the month, basically, it will be 11,000. Now, this is a template that I created and just worked on over time. As you can see, like the personal, you got stuff all over here. You got a vehicle breakdown where it goes into like the car payments, the insurance payments. If you got trackers on there, And then I also had a tab for like future forecast. So basically, like, if you wanted to, in this instance, I was just playing around with numbers, playing around with inventory. And what I always did was played around to see like where I wanted to get to. So here it's a little cluttered because I kind of just wanted everything all in one instead of separating it. But I basically broke everything down to where I play with numbers to see like, okay, if I expanded the fleet out to, however many cars, this was the projected price that it should cost and everything like that. What would it, where would I be at? And this definitely helps out a lot because at that point, now you can actually start to forecast and look at, okay, this is what business should look like by running off these numbers, and it will give you some type of insight. So, guys, if you found this valuable, like always say, make sure you subscribe, share it with someone who may need this. And like I say, if you need any of this information, click the link below. And if you need me to do it, click the link below as well. And if you need me to create like a certain video or something like that, let me know in the comments and I'll get it up and record it. So until next time, catch y'all later.